This is George Boston Ryan, KBCI.blogspot.com, YouTube Boston G.B.R. I just traveled over to Waycross on one incident, and I met this young lady here. What's your name?
Jeanette.
And you called me, what, last week, right?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me what happened tell me about your situation, short form. What happened? Why did you call me?
I called you because of the fact that I had a grandson that his name is Nathaniel III, and he was killed April the 10th, 2009 here in Waycross, Georgia. And they called it what it was, excuse me, I can't remember.
It's going to tell us. It's going to tell us.
But they self-defense.
Okay.
Self-defense. And what it was that he got shot by two white boys. And we don't know all the information. We was getting a little information here and there. But we know that my grandson was an innocent child. My grandson, again, name was Nathaniel III.
Okay.
And he was here visiting. His daddy had a big birthday party that week. And he was here visiting. And he was with one of his uncles. And what came off about that, we really don't know. But we do know that he was shot in the back. And some of the information was stating that he went in there to rob one of the boys that was involved in the murder. And the two boys was David Reynolds and Mills, Andrew Mills and David Reynolds. And both of these boys was white boys. So right now, what we are trying to do now is we are trying our best to get justice and get this case overturned. They dropped the malice murder charges against my grandson. And they said it was a mistake, that they meant to drop what they call the drug charges on Reynolds. But they dropped the malice murder charges. So right now, there's nobody being accountable for his murder. And every year, we march for my grandson, Nathaniel III, for justice.
Is that what the march is about? When? Yesterday or some time ago? Yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday, we had the 3rd annual visual for March for Justice for my grandson, Nathaniel III. We did it last year in April 2011. We did it 2010 in April the 10th. Usually we do it around about the 10th of each year, but when it falls through the week, we do it that following weekend. And right now we're still going to continue on this march until we get justice for my grandson.
Okay, do you have a lawyer?
Right now, we have a civil lawyer.
Okay, well, that's different.
But we don't have a lawyer.
Okay, was the local NAACP or the district coordinator was able to help you, or did you seek their help, or the Southern Christian Leadership Conference? Have you ever tried to get into civil rights help?
I joined the NAACP, and when I came to Waycross in reference to my grandson Nathaniel III murder case, I talked to the NAACP here, Chris Jordan, and that's how I got to get involved with Mr. Larry O'Hara and Larry Lockett, and also talked to Mr. DuBois,
the state president.
The state president, which gave Mr. O'Hara the okay to help us to try to seek justice.
Okay, so the NAACP is trying to assist you. In other words, it's not like you're not getting any help. So I guess it's probably just going to be a slow process, but you do have some, in other words, somebody is helping you, assisting you on what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So what do you think about Mr. O'Hara? He just left a few minutes ago. It seemed like he'll tackle everything over here, but you came all the way from Albany. What's your name again?
My name is Jeanette.
Jeanette. And you all the way from Albany. You came from Albany today?
Yeah, no, I've been here ever since Friday.
So what, you leaving?
Because, I'll be leaving tomorrow.
You got relatives here?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, this is my hometown. I was born here. And also my grandson, Nathaniel III, he was born here. But I left Waycross, Georgia in 1989, and we was living in Albany, Georgia ever since then. In 2005, my daughter, his mother, left and moved to left and moved to Jacksonville, Florida, where he was living at during the time that he was down here visiting and got murdered.
Okay, thank you. Now come on, step in here because she just mentioned you. You are with the NAACP. So tell me your version. Where the NAACP at is on her case? Because I was commending her and the NAACP for giving her some type of assistance. So many times they say the NAACP is not doing anything. Tell us what did you do in terms of trying to help her with her situation?
Well, the only thing we really did was we listened to her. We learned about the case. The case really thoroughly upset me when this guy told me that one of the guys told him that he wasn't gonna have no nigger effing his girlfriend, and that's what the whole thing really started about. He was jealous because his girlfriend had started talking with Little Nate. And another reason we got mad when we went to court, this guy was a convicted felon. Wasn't supposed to have a gun whatsoever with him or around him. His girlfriend gave him the gun to shoot Little Nate with, and she was never prosecuted for giving a convicted felon a gun. He was never charged with, having a weapon as a convicted felon. So they got away scot-free with that. So what we decided to do after they did what the law did, what they did, which was not right according with the law, and the NAACP get angry with them sometimes because the law, they break the law to call themselves enforcing the law. In this case, they broke the law because Nate didn't have anything on him. By the time he got to the hospital, he had marijuana and stuff in his pocket. However, when the guy first shot him, he went to a white lady house with his pockets empty, showing nothing in his pocket. And when he got out the ambulance, he had everything on him. So of course the NAACP gonna get in that because you're destroying a young man's reputation, a young man who can't speak for himself. So NAACP is trying to help his family speak for him.
So what's your name and your position once again in this area?
I'm the Reverend Larry O'Hara. I'm the district coordinator for the NAACP in this area, and I'm also a board member of the state part of the NAACP.
And you also are retired military, right?
Retired Marine Corps, yes.
I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna close with this clip. I don't know how they put it, but considering 2012, it pains me to ask you this question, how do you view law enforcement as a veteran who have served your country to come back to the United States of America and have to go through, watch, and witness what you're watching today? How did that make you feel as a veteran and a ex-Marine? How did that make you feel?
To answer your question, brother, it made me feel like I never got out of the war. I'm still fighting, and probably will continue to fight till the good Lord call me home, because I will not turn my back on my sisters and my brothers and anybody that's in need.
You don't mind me putting this on YouTube, do you? What about you, my beautiful sister? You don't mind me putting this on YouTube, right?
No, I don't.
Thank you very much. I know you're in a hurry, Brother O'Hara. We'll check you later. Thank you for the work, all the work that you do, man. You keep it up, man. And thank you for the service of your country. Yes, sir. Now, we're going to close, but what do you want to see from the justice system here in America? What do you want to see? What would you like to see? What would make you happy?
What would make me happy is that as a grandmother, as a mother, a person that was born in this United States, that we as a people need to stop and take a look at what is going on around us with our children. I would like to see the parents start taking back control of their homes, taking back control of their children. We got so much violence going on out here, black on black crime, and not only that, actually we got all types of crimes going on, and it needs to stop. When is there going to be someone that's going to stand up and say enough is enough? And that is one thing I would like to see. And also, I would like to say that I didn't only just lose a grandson. I lost my baby boy the same year, Johnny Jones Jr. He lived in Jacksonville, Florida, hadn't been there long. The apartment complex that he worked there, part-time, 2 black boys murdered my son. He told them to leave him alone. And he died April the 30th. 2009. So I'm dealing with 2 murders. But by the grace of God, I'm able to stand up here and talk to you all today about what is going on in my family's life. But as a mother and a grandmother, to those mothers and grandmothers that have lost someone through a tragedy like mine, I would like to say to you all and give you all my condolences, but most of all, the rest of the family members that you have or your children that you have, it's time to step up. Quit letting these children control you and start controlling your kids, your grandkids, and all. It's time for us to start pulling together and joining each other and fight for what is right.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now, I can't close this out without you stating in your own words, please, and I do mean your own words, I'm gonna step out of the picture. I want you to tell me your experiences with the news media in terms of in what you tried to report. What happened when you tried to report what you know to the news media? How did they respond to you?
The first year, we called Channel 10 News in Atlanta. We called Jacksonville, Channel 4 News. I called Albany News, Channel 10, where I live at in Albany, Georgia. We got in touch with each one of these news people. In my response, they will take and look at everything. They would call me back. I never heard anything. Jacksonville News guaranteed me last year, 2011, that they will be there the Saturday of April the 10th when we had the second vigil. They never showed up. I did respond back to them and asked them. They told me they don't do news on Saturdays, okay? But they could have told me that from the first beginning. That's what I would like to say. But my thing is that I don't care what crime goes on, they're always there, whether it's a good or a negative. But this was a case that needed to be heard, and I felt like that because it was the crime that it was, and what I'm meaning to say about this, if it had been 2 black boys killed the white boy, they would have been all over it. So equal justice is equal justice. I mean, you should come regardless of what or how the case goes. If you call the media and they can come for negativity stuff, then they should ought to want to come for something which is right. And that is my opinion that I have to say. I'm tired of the racial profiling that is going on all over this world. It needs to stop. It's time for us to get together, regardless of what. Justice is justice, and justice needs to be served this day in this case that is going on.
Thank you so much. And as we can see and hear, what I've been saying for a couple of decades now, there seems to be an asserted effort to keep the people deaf, dumb, and blind to the times. And our news media in America, I hate to say it, but it seems like there is an apparent effort to keep us ill-informed. And so I ask a question today based upon this mother's and her experience, is why is our sons and daughters going to fight in foreign nations to preserve the rights and freedom of others while we see our own being destroyed? Thank you so much, and I thank you for calling me the other day to tell your story, and I'm hoping with the help of President O'Hara, District Coordinator, that we will be able to assist you in some kind of way. But above all, we will put this on YouTube, and maybe somebody will see that there is a pattern and practice of today's news media not to report the news. I have put it in this fashion. They'll report a cat trapped in a tree, but not the loss of human life. kvci.blogspot.com, George Boston Ryan saying bye-bye, we're gone.